Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This evening I'm off to see a brand new sci-fi musical called Fanatical. I can't wait. It's also going to have a post-show Q&A with Terry Paddock, so without further ado, let's go along to see Fanatical. Woo!
Red Rock references. And tomorrow night.
So I've just arrived at the Playground Theatre. I can hear the cast warming up. I'm very much looking forward to seeing the show. I love Eugenius and also love sci-fi, so musicals, sci-fi sounds like my kind of thing, so looking forward to it. This board is so cool. Got my programme and also got my ticket just here. This is very cool. This is my ticket inside. I'm looking forward to it. It's a new theatre apparently. I didn't even know it's only a year old. So yeah, new to me, but it's very nice. Gorgeous. Just in the interval at Fanatical. Are you enjoying it, Terry?
I'm loving it!
Yay! It's all about embracing the inner fan, which we love. And I also literally feel like I've stepped into a Game Boy. That's how it feels. Yeah! You feel like you're in a video game. Yeah. Really enjoying it. But yeah, looking forward to your post-show Q&A.
Thank you. Can we do a joint woo? I've always wanted to do
Yes,
a joint woo.
let's do a joint woo. 3, 2, 1. Woohoo!
So, I am joined by Grace Taylor, the director.
Woo!
Matt Ford, who wrote the music and the lyrics. PJ McAvoy.
Yes.
PJ McAvoy, who is the designer of the show. And Neil Marcus, who is one of the producers from a fabulous company called The Stable. Matt and Raina met while Raina was studying over here, and both of you were working on a student production of Into the Woods.
It was also in the show, and she was playing Little Red Riding Hood. How we first met, and we became friends. She was a playwright, I was a composer. We said we should definitely write a musical, and about a zillion years later, we finally did. The first inkling of the idea was a long time ago, back in 2006, I think. Raina and I constantly argue over this. We can't remember who suggested it first, but one of us said, I know, why don't we write a musical set at a science fiction convention? I just remember thinking, that's an amazing idea for a show. Immediately, that's a world to me that already wants to burst into song because it's full of people who are so passionate, enthusiastic, and unafraid to express their emotions.
Really attracted you to the piece. Eddie, obviously you're coming back to the piece, so that must have been an attraction. And I'm going to pick on Sue Ann first, because you have some pretty impressive sci-fi credentials.
Yeah.
Can you tell the audience, in case they don't know, what your sci-fi
I was in a show called Stargate, SG-1, and also Red Dwarf, and in a video game version of Babylon 5, which was a big series in the States. And that's sort of what attracted me, because Neil and I had a conversation in January or February, and I was never massively into sci-fi at all growing up, but the character I played in Stargate kind of changed my life, because it was 20-something years ago and I'm still going to conventions to this day, and it's been astonishing, you know, that this character has had such an impact on people. And so I wanted to meet Neil because it was very important to me that the love of the fandom was portrayed in a kind of loving way, because yes, it's geeky and it's all that, but they're lovely, 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 lovely people, and I was very worried initially that it was going to be from a sort of opposing point of view, but of course it isn't. And that's kind of, and then I heard some of the songs and I went, yep, I'm in. That was that.
Thank you. Anyone else, what attracted you to the piece?
The location and the wages. Right up. And then, they're not driving me back tonight.
And also, for the first act, you're going to just hang about.
Oh, you call it hanging. I call it being in the pub over the road. No, I do lots of touring all the time, and I'm a trained actor. I've done straight plays a long time ago, and every couple of years I like to do a play of some sort at the end of a festival or something like this. And then this came along, and I've never been in a musical before.
Yeah.
And one of my main things I wanted is I usually devise my own shows or be in original shows. This is an original show, so you've got nobody to copy, nobody, and they sent me the script and didn't really bother reading it, and they sent me the songs and didn't really listen to them. I was freaked. No, I'm really having a ball doing it because I've never been involved in a show like this before. And it's been fantastic.
And they are thrilled to have you, I can tell. So
Laughing, it makes me laugh a lot.
Yeah, off stage.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Sophie?
I think for me, I could just really relate to Andrea in my own way. Like, I grew up loving sites like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers and loving all that vibe. And then as an adult, I love all of the Marvel films and comics. And so I got that she was so into it, but the way I can relate to her in the way of, I love to perform, I love to act, I love to be on stage, I love to be in front of a camera, and what Andrea says about just losing yourself in a world, just 1 hour where anything can happen, and I feel so fortunate that I've got the opportunity to do that for 2 hours every night. So I am Andrea for 2 hours every night, and with my family, you know, we are like a really close, tight-knit group of people, and Grace and the creative team, everyone's been so amazing and supportive, and I just really can relate to her, and it's gone from me thinking, shit, don't mess it up, to actually just enjoying myself and just having a great time with really talented, amazing people for 2 hours, so that's how I can relate. Like,
It really comes across to me that you are all having fun. So thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to turn over to the audience now. So, question.
So I've actually got a few quotes from the show here. I got 2 which were particularly stood out to me. It was, I'm a fan and that's okay, and we're fans, we can do anything. And there was one towards the end about love and doing what you love, which is obviously really important. And sometimes people can, you know, drag people for being a fangirl or a fanboy, and the fact that this show embraces it is so important. One question that I have for all of you really is, maybe just in a word, could you sum up why you love being a fan?
Don't start with me.
Okay.
So glad to hear you say that, because like that is one of the biggest things for me, like particularly nowadays, like way too often I find it's considered not cool to be like passionate or enthusiastic about something, and I just like that just makes me so sad, because because it's so fun to be enthusiastic about things, and definitely for me that's the core of the story between Andrea and Craig, is I think of them as like cynicism versus enthusiasm.
Aww.
And Andrea like gradually sort of like getting Craig to open up and sort of like bring them back to the light side of force.
Something that came up quite early on in rehearsals were, this thing of people who go to conventions and who don't, and then I can't remember, I think it might have been you who said it, Matt, initially. Yeah, and when you said about your uncle, I think it was, who was like, why would you dress up and go to a convention? And your reply was, well, why would you go to the pub in your rugby shirt and your scarf and your hat?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, that level of love and enthusiasm for your team, for your RuPaul's Drag Race, for whatever floats your boat, it's that commitment to loving something so much, and I think that really comes across in this, which I love as well.
I'm going to get into a bit of a two-part question. So the show is all about fandom. So my aspect of it was, what is it that brings out the fangirl, fanboy in you? It doesn't need to be sci-fi, whatever it is. For me, it's the West Wing and dogs. Obviously theater. I love theater. But could you think about that? And then also Perry asked
the word.
Pardon me?
The word sums up fandom.
The
Yeah.
word sums up fandom. Okay.
Being a fan,
So,
yeah.
who's brave enough to go first? Eddie.
Like you said, community, I think the idea.
What brings out the fanboy in you?
Me.
I love Star Wars.
Star Wars.
I love the idea of Easter eggs and references within things, and how like watching a prequel to something and they kind of reference. I don't know why that idea, and even like the phases of Marvel which are going on at the moment, how they've kind of like this world, they're exploring that world, and
So Marvel and Star Wars,
Yeah.
great. Sophie?
I really love Stranger Things, because I feel like that's made it so accessible for like all ages, and like I love how they're the main character in that is like a strong girl, and she's not too feminine. And I love Handmaid's Tale like that. Yeah.
And what sums up fandom for you?
Well, I was going to say community, but Ellie stole it. So I'd say family or just escapism.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd say imagination, being very creative and exploring different worlds and universes. I geek out over planes and trains, so I'm a bit of an anorak.
Aww.
I didn't know that. I love you even more now.
There is a word.
Anorak, I believe it. Imagination.
Imagination. Okay,
Yeah.
Suanne.
My word is love, I think, and I geek out over RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes!
And also, I'm obsessed with like Nordic French crime dramas. I can't get enough. It's an addiction. I can't stop. I'm obsessed.
Love that.
Amber.
I am an absolute weirdo for RuPaul's Drag Race and for Handmaid's Tale. So mad for it. I'm going to be that person who's like, oh, mine's just 2 words. I would say it's self-acceptance and that whole thing of finding your own courage. Everyone's full of it. And like courage and knowing that you have people who are willing to come together and celebrate something like that with you when you can feel so lost and so swallowed up in the world. And I think that's a really beautiful thing.
Thank you. Amy.
So my word was going to be acceptance, not self-acceptance from other people. And it's because my thing that I'm like a super fan of is like musical theatre and Broadway. And when I was at school, I had like no friends, and everyone laughed at me because I was very into theatre and nobody else was. And then through sharing my love of musical theatre online, I found so many friends and acceptance for what I love. And I'm like, whatever, I'm a theatre nerd, I'm okay with it. I didn't used to be.
Amy runs the most brilliant YouTube channel all about musical theatre, so do look it up, it's so good, it's so good. Okay, Susan.
Yeah, my word is comradeship. It's all that together. I'm more involved with the rock and roll world. I come from big festivals and the bands and all that, and the fans there and it's great. And the hardest hardcore heavy metal fans are usually the nicest people, and they all look after each other. It's fantastic. And I'm a big fan of Star Trek, for the original one, because when I was at school, that was what was on. I missed doing my homework from watching it.
Can you do that?
I can do
then?
that. Not as long as but I met William Shatner in New York once, and I'm grown up. I've got a wife and family, and I make a living. I'm 6'6", and there's William Shatner, and I went, beat me up, Scotty.
You guys don't get off of this, Grace?
So I am a big geek. Thanks, guys. I love Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's my biggest
Yes,
favorite.
that's a
I've
good
listened to
one.
all the radio plays, and I have also watched every incarnation of it that's been on television and movies. And I think, I don't know, I didn't think of a word. I think the thing about fandom, and especially what this company has got, is a sense of togetherness and sharing a love and passion.
Togetherness is love.
Oh, thanks. But I think it's really shown in this company as a whole. They've come together and made a really wonderful production together.
Yeah. I'm going to let Matt go last. So Neil.
Well, I'd say camaraderie and passion are definitely buzzwords for that. For me, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. I don't know if anyone's watching that.
The TV show or the original?
And Smash. I'm a big fan of Series 1.
Very specific, isn't it?
What my fandom? I think take your pick at this point. I enjoy sci-fi, comics, the works. Probably Doctor Who and Batman are probably my top. The word I pick is actually detail, because I think the thing that unites everything that everyone's just talked about in terms of their fandom is that you all know those little details about RuPaul's Drag Race, about trains, about Marvel movies, and it's those little details that I think is what makes the fandom, or whatever it is that you kind of obsess over, and I really like that. And it's something I kind of try and translate into my own work as a designer anyway, so it's a balance that I enjoy.
Wonderful. And finally, Matt.
I mean, way too many fandoms to list, but the two big ones I'm going to mention. My current big sci-fi fandom is Doctor Who, because I love that. That was my first love. And on the other hand, particularly Stephen Sondheim, but so many other musical theatre writers. The whole reason that I wrote a musical set at a science fiction convention is because I was a fan of sci-fi and I'm a fan of musical theatre. It was going to happen eventually. And so, because of that, my fandom word, I guess, would be passion, precisely because, for me, that's, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I feel like that's a huge part of why we're doing the thing that we're doing right now, is because we just, at some point we watched other people do it and we thought, oh my god, that's amazing, I want to do that. And that's, so everyone who creates things started off being a fan of those things, and just, and that's where that passion comes from.
No one said Angel 8.
Type PJ and Matt in. There's a Sondheim quote that says God is in the detail.
Got it. Join me in thanking Sue Ann and Theo and Sophie and Eddie and Stephen and Amy and Amber and Grace and Matt and PJ and Neil.
So I'm just here with YouTube Queen herself. It's Amy.
Hey girl. Hey boy. Hey
If you want to say a little bit about your character and why you love Fanatical, that'd be great.
So I play Lizette and others. So I also play a staff member and an artist.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, this is Harry.
Hey, this is me.
Hi,
Yeah.
Harry.
Hello. Director
I'm not
here.
like, hello person, please hold my camera.
I just always wanted to walk up to you while you're filming.
I love it. There you go. That's going in. Just saying. Yay!
What do you love about Fanatical?
What do I love about Fanatical?
Yeah, what do you love?
I love the people that are involved in Fanatical.
Yay!
I have made really wonderful friends and really amazing colleagues, and everyone is super talented, and it's just been lots of fun.
Oh, that's great to hear. Well, because
Sorry, Harry.
no worries. Loved it. Loved it. Absolutely love it. Good to see you. Yay! Just got back from seeing Fanatical. I had a fantastic night, and I just want to say that if you love to be a fan, then be a fan. You've got to do what you love at the end of the day, and if it makes you happy, then that's all that matters. I am fanatical about Fanatical because it's all about the love of being a fan, and of course being a fan of comics, which I also love. So I want to say a huge thank you to Terry Paddock for a fantastic post-show Q&A. Be sure to go and check out her Twitter below, and of course the full interview in full, as obviously this is only a few snippets of the full Q&A, so be sure to go and see the full thing on Terry Paddock's socials. I absolutely loved it. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, give it a big thumbs up, click subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!